So these are the things I wish I knew in my early 20s, or the things I wish someone would have told me in my 20s, or I wish someone would have told me, like, girl, this is what you're going to experience, but look, you're going to be all right. Okay. So let me jump straight into it. The first thing I wish someone would have told me was, I'm going to change. Right? Because if you really think about it, when you're a teenager, you were kind of forced to pick up this personality, or you were kind of, how can I say this? I don't want to say forced, but as a teenager, it's like you became who you wanted to be, but you really didn't have a lot of knowledge about who you are or who you want to be. You get what I'm saying? It's like you were still learning yourself, or you had no idea. Like, you had no idea who you were, and you were in the process of like getting to know yourself and getting to learn yourself. And I thought, maybe in like my early 20s, I'll be able to, I'll know myself. I'll know, who I am. I'll become the person that I wanted to be. But in actuality, it didn't go like that. Like, I literally just sprouted into like being the person that I'm supposed to be, not the person that I was told to be, but the person that I'm supposed to be. And this literally happened, I want to say maybe a year or two ago, and I'm 27 right now. So maybe when I was 26, 25-ish, I wouldn't say 25-ish going to 26-ish, that's when like I really started to like, question myself and ask myself, like, who am I? Who am I? What am I doing? um do I enjoy doing the things that I'm doing? Like, what's going on? Like, it's like I had a spiritual awakening, and I just became fully aware of myself. And that's when like I really started to go within myself to change some things and to alter some things and different stuff like that. But what I mean by you're going to change is that you're not going to be the person you once was several years ago. Like, you're going to change, and it is not just going to be you, but literally everything within your life is going to change. Your career is going to change. The relationship you have with your family, your friends, is going to change. And it's not to say that this is going to happen for everybody, but different areas within your life is going to change. And I could piggyback off of my story, especially when it comes down to the career wise. And that's what I really want to like get really like deep down into details about, is because we pursue careers based off of who we are at that moment. But when we change, you realize this career no longer serves me. You realize, what am I doing in this career? Like why am I here? Like, why did I ever pick this career? And I'm gonna talk a little bit about my story on how I pursued a career in social work. I got my bachelor's degree in social work, and I got my master's degree in social work. But after I got my master's degree in social work, which was when I turned, I want to say I was about 20, 25, 26. Yeah, I was about 25, 26. And this was like around the area where like I really started to like go within myself. So around that time, I was in graduate school getting my master's degree. And when I graduated from graduate school, like I knew like this is not what I want to do. And it's crazy because it's like I put so much of time, effort, energy, blood, sweat, and tears into pursuing this career, pursuing a career that I knew that could have brought me the stability, and everything it is that I needed. And once I step into it, I'm like, this is not what I want. Now, when it comes down to a career such as social work is such a broad career. So you could do just about any and everything with a social work degree. It's just that the area I was working within, I didn't like. So that's what kind of pushed, what kind of like allow me to make my mind up on like, yeah, this may not be the career for me. However, I'm just not gonna let my degrees just, sit around and collect dust. Trust me, I just put a pause on the social work career. Trust me, I'm gonna pick up, with the social work degrees or with the social work career later on in life. But I just feel like right now is not the best time, because it's either, I feel like the person I've become within the past 2 to 3 years is either I'm going to live the life I want to live, or I'm going to live the life I want to live. I'm not settling to do anything that I do not want to do. And I found myself doing it every single day when I was working within the career of social work. I found myself waking up stressed, tired, depressed, like suffering with like serious mental health issues because I wasn't happy with the job that I was going to on a day-to-day basis. So this is why I say is a lot of things within your life that's going to change, and you have to realize that once you change, everything else then will change. But it's going to change in a way where it makes sense to you and for you, because like I said, is either things are going to work out for me or things are going to work out for me. It's no in between. It has no choice but to work out for me. So expect yourself to change. Don't run away from the change, because change is good. Change is great. Change is amazing. Embrace the change. Learn how to reach out to other people. Come to YouTube. YouTube is an amazing platform where you can learn just about any and everything. Learn to reach out to people that may be supportive, that can help you along that journey, because you're gonna need their support and you're gonna need help, because you're gonna be lost, because you're gonna be like, who am I? You're gonna be, it's like you're gonna wake up a whole different person, and it's like, who am I? Like, how do I move forward? How do I create a new puzzle and put the pieces together and go on with my life? You get what I'm saying? So that's number one. Number two, I wish somebody would have told me that the people I attract is a reflection of me. I wish somebody would have told me that. But it's kind of great when you live life and you live life through your own lenses and you start to realize things for yourself, right? Because even with me making this video, talking to the younger generation, or even the older generation, just me speaking, um me telling you about these things will then plant a seed in your mind of like, look, these are the things that you should look forward to, or these are the things that I've experienced on my journey of changing. But for me, I had to experience these things like for who I am, uh throughout the experience that I was experiencing. And I noticed that the people I was attracting the same person in different people. And I didn't like that. Like, I felt as though I'm such an amazing, beautiful, wonderful, amazing, kind, loving, adorable, funny, giggly type of person. I feel like that's if I was to describe myself, that's how I would describe myself. But I noticed I was attracting people that was insecure. I was attracting people that wasn't confident in themselves. I was attracting people that didn't like themselves. I was attracting people that just had all types of just issues and concerns within them. And I noticed it. I noticed it. Like, I was able to notice like their flaws, but then I was also able to notice like, their weaknesses and also their strengths. But for me, I noticed the weaknesses and I noticed the flaws. And at one point in time, I feel as though everyone has flaws. So a flaw to me may not be a red flag, because we all have flaws. You get what I'm saying? And I feel like you shouldn't cut somebody off because of a flaw that they have. Now, I've done this before in the past, but as I started to reflect upon me cutting people off the way that I used to, I started to pay attention and I started to notice, and I told myself, like, Sasha, this is not fair that you cutting this person off because they're not communicating with you. Not of course we need people to communicate with us. However, you should reach out to that person and let that person know, hey, you're not communicating with me the way that I want you to communicate with me, XYZ. If that person don't respond back, then yes, cut them off. But if they do respond back and if they do put forth the effort to communicate with you, then that's it. You can't expect a person to communicate with you the way that you want them to communicate with you. And that was my problem. I wanted people to deal with me the way I wanted them to deal with me, not the way that they wanted to deal with me. And that's something that I had to, realize and put in check. But um I noticed that it was just the same person in different people. So like that kind of made me go within myself, because I'm listening to things that's saying that, you meet people based off of the same frequency level that you're on, and you're meeting people based off of who you are. So, those people are literally a mirror of you. Those people are a reflection of you. And that is 1,100% true. I believe that with everything inside of me, because the moment I started to see those people for me, the moment I started to notice my reflection in those people, is the moment I started to go within myself to work on myself. The moment I noticed the insecurities and the lack of love and the lack of confidence for themselves within them, I knew that was something that I need to work on, because I see it in you, and I'm not seeing it for nothing. So if you want to attract people that's loving, that's kind, that's confident, that's secure within themselves, then you need to become someone that's loving, that's kind, and that's secure within themselves. If you find yourself attracting somebody that's weak, that's broke, that's insecure, that's a liar, that may be a narcissist, or whatever it is that you want to call it, the reason why you're attracting those type of people is because that's who you are. I'm just telling you. The third thing that I wish someone would have talked to me about, I wish somebody would have talked to me about all of this. Like it I feel like it would have prepared me. But then again, when it comes down to life, like life be life, and life will smack you clean in your face at like the least expected time. And like every last one of these things that I'm talking about literally smack me in my face at like a least expected time. But the third thing is that you will lose everything. And I'm not saying like you will lose everything as in like, oh man, I'm gonna hit rock bottom. Because what you have to comprehend, what you have to realize is that the same way you got those things is the same way you could get those things back. And what I want you to keep in mind is, sometimes in life, things may seem like it's falling apart, but in actuality, it's coming together. So as long as you keep a growth mindset about you, about your life, you're going to always shake back from no matter what situation, no matter what circumstances you're in. So it could happen. You may not lose everything. You may have everything. You may have support. You may have some savings, and that's great. That's great. But I'm speaking for people that may find themselves hitting rock bottom. I've hit rock bottom, and I never thought I would hit rock bottom. But I'm saying this because it's something that could potentially happen. Think about it. You're in the process of changing yourself, right? It's just like a snake. A snake, I don't know how often snake sheds, but they shed their skin. And when you're in a season of transition, of changing yourself, changing your frequency, changing your mindset, you have to think about everything else in your life is going to change, because it's everything is changing. You change, everything else around you is going to change. So if you look at a snake and you pay attention to a snake that sheds is skin, that skin is going to come off. It has to come off, because that's a part of the transitional season that snake is in. Just like a caterpillar will become a butterfly. You can't stop that process. So from a caterpillar all the way up to the different stages of a butterfly, I think what is about 7 or 8 stages. I'm not sure how many stages it is, but you're gonna go through seasons in your life where you're gonna change, you're gonna shred things are gonna fall up off of you, and it has to happen in order for you to become, in order for you to fulfill the person that you're supposed to be. So in a moment you may be saying to yourself like, man, this hurt, like I lost everything. I lost my job. I lost my house. I lost my car. I lost my family. And that's extremely hurtful. Extremely hurtful. So if you're in that season of losing everything, if you lost everything and you don't know how to deal with it, I highly suggest that if you could get professional help, get professional help. If you can't, come to YouTube. YouTube is an amazing platform where you can learn how to get through whatever it is that you need to get through. Like you could literally learn how to build a house on YouTube. If you could learn how to build a house on YouTube, if you could learn how to change your energy on YouTube and attract millions and millions of dollars, I'm 1,000% sure you can learn how to get yourself through those challenging times. But back to what I was saying, you're in a process, you're in a season of changing. It has to happen. It has to happen, especially for you to become the person that you're supposed to be. Because when you're in your 20s or when you're in your teens, you 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 may wake up and you may feel like you're the person that you want to be, but baby, you're going to change. You're gonna change. It's no other way around that. Especially when you put forth the effort to say, you know what, I don't like this habit. I don't like the way my life is going. I'm waking up every day and I'm doing things that I don't want to do. I'm not satisfied with myself. Or you may say, well, you know what? I want to take it up a notch. I want to be more disciplined. I want to see, how higher I could get within life or how higher I could get within myself. Either way it go, you're going to change, whether if you're going to change for the worse or if you're going to change for the better. It's going to happen. So I feel like it's something that you need to keep in mind so that when it does happen, or that when you see the evidence taking place in your life, like, like, okay, I'm changing. I'm going through a season of I was once a caterpillar, now I'm about to be a butterfly. I'm shedding the old dead skin off of my body just the way that a snake do. So these are the different things that you can, be mindful of when you embrace that season. The last thing I wish someone would have told me in my 20s is that you're gonna learn and you're gonna grow. I feel like, you know, growing up for some reason, and I don't know where this come from, but we had this idea of, when I turn 25, I'ma have it all figured out. I don't know where that come from. I have no idea where that mindset, where that ideal come from. I don't know, because I even thought it. I thought when I was like 18, 19 years old, I'm thinking, okay, if I graduate from college this year, and then if I go to graduate school this year, okay, well then by the time I turn 25, I'm gonna be set off, good in my career. I'm gonna have a house. I know for a fact I'm gonna have a car, and I'll probably be married with kids. Some of that happened, but some of that didn't happen. But what I'm saying is, baby, when I turned 25, that's when I was like really stepping into myself, really asking myself, like, who am I? Like, what am I doing? What's going on? So I don't know where that come from, but get that out your mind that you're going to have it together by 25. Get that out your mind. Get it out your mind that you're going to have it together when you're 30. Get it out your mind that you're going to have it together when you 35, 40. Listen to me. I'm not saying this to discourage you, to say don't set your goals and don't work towards your goals. But what I'm saying is, life be lifing, and you don't know what the future holds. You could sit back and you could plan those goals. You could get up every single day, go to work, save your money, make sure you have this, that, and the third all together. You could do that. But then sometimes some things happen that throw you off a track. Or some things happen because that house is, it wasn't meant for you to get that house in that state at that time. Things happen because it wasn't meant for you to have that baby with that person at that time. So I'm not saying it's not gonna happen. If that's something that you want to happen, it's gonna happen. It's just that it may not happen when you want it to happen. And that's okay. That's okay, because guess what? You could sit back in your life right now and you could look upon a time where you wanted something to happen and it didn't happen. And then now, as you reflect back on that time, you could sit back and you could say, hmm, now I see why it didn't happen. And you could say, you know what, I'm glad it didn't happen at this time, because at that time I really wasn't ready. But now I feel like I'm ready for this. You get what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that go at your own pace, set your own goals, continue to learn and grow. But if things don't happen for you at a certain age, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. It's not like you're gonna drop dead, or it's not like the world is gonna end the next day. It's gonna happen. Just allow time, or allow the universe to do what the universe does, so that it can happen perfectly and amazingly for you. So those are the 4 things I wish someone would have told me in my late teens, early 20s, so that when I step into life, I know what to expect. Though, when I step into life, at least I have some type of idea to know that, you know what, I'm gonna change. I'm not gonna have it all together by a certain age. I'm gonna attract people based off of the same frequency that I'm on. Like, at least I would have kind of had, like, like a guide or something. And I feel like, in life don't come with a manual. Life don't come with a guide. It don't come with a manual. It's just like you just out here, and it's like you got to find your own way. And I'm here to give you some type of guidance, advice, knowledge, wisdom that I've experienced for myself, to help you along this journey, so that you can have the help and support that you need. So that concludes today's video. Let me know if you appreciate today's video. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.